Welcome to UBL News, your ultimate source for everything about the game that packs a punch. Undisputed. In this action-packed podcast, we'll drive into the electrifying world of the Undisputed Boxing League, bringing you the latest updates, thrilling highlights, and exclusive live interviews with the champions themselves. Get ready to step into the ring of excitement and stay ahead of the game with UBL News. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. How y'all doing? It's been a minute, but we back at it. It's getting closer and closer to the release date, so we're going to get this podcast show. Get into topics, about the release date, about, Season 3 of the Undisputed Boxing League, about career mode, and some other things. I got some good guys here with me tonight, Vlad J. and the man called Mac, and we're going to get into some different topics and stuff and let y'all know what's ahead and look forward to in Season 3. All right, like I said, we have Vlad J here and the man called Matt. Welcome, gentlemen. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Glad it's Friday. I can tell you that. End of the week, excited. We getting closer and closer to October, so you know what that means, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Is Mac here?
I don't know. Maybe he stepped away.
Okay.
But yeah, but the release date is coming up soon. October is right around the corner. I think they said the PC people are gonna receive it October 8th, and then console people are gonna get it on the 11th. Have you got your console copy reserved yet?
Actually, I was supposed to do it today. I've been running around doing some things, so I forgot. But I'll probably do it after we get off here. Um, Purchase it for Xbox and get ready to play it on the 8th.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I still got to get mines. I'm gonna go to. Actually, CD Keys was supposed to send me an email. I haven't received it because I was gonna get the discount for the deluxe version for the Xbox off of CD Keys. So I think I'm gonna go back there to check, or maybe Instant Gaming to see if I can get a discount and avoid paying that full price. And I suggest anyone to do that.
I was gonna
Then
say send me a link because that's what I'm gonna do right after this.
yeah, here I'll send you a link right now and you look it up while we're talking about this. Um, I use CD Keys a lot when I'm looking for games that I want to pick up. Now, the trick to it is with both platforms, you got to make sure they have the license. Because if they don't, then of course you can't get the game at a discounted rate.
I mean, I'm on their site now, but it looks like
Okay.
40 across the board.
What's the deluxe model?
They all say 40. Series XS 40, Series WBC edition deluxe 40. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like 40.
Hold on, I got you. Okay, mine's just start working. For some reason, I was having a problem. Okay, so let's see, Xbox Series. So you got they have the different models too. But it looks like, yeah, the deluxe is going to be half off. It's going to be 40 79, which that's not
Yeah.
bad.
How do you? I don't know how that works, but the keys are guaranteed to work.
Yeah, I buy license off of here all the time.
Oh wow. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it says release date October 8th. Uh, 50% off. Yeah, so the deluxe is supposed to be 80. Yeah, and this has notified me when a license are available. They don't have any license for this right now. Let me put my email address in.
Oh, so don't buy it until they have a license for it.
Well, they want you can't buy it until they have a license for it. Until they have a
Oh,
license to you to purchase. That's what I should say.
so oh yeah, because it only says notify. I see what you. But are they gonna have it before the release date?
I hope so. They'll be
Okay,
missing out
that's
on some
good.
money if they don't.
I'm gonna have to just keep checking, I guess.
Okay, say no. This is a pre-order. Please read our pre-order information here before purchasing. I wonder if they're gonna have any more pre-order license. Cause sometimes they only give out a certain amount of pre-order license when purchasing a game like this. I'm a little concerned now if I'm gonna be able to buy it at the discounted price.
Looks like we're gonna have to pay full price.
Come on, man, don't say that. Okay, so it's another site. Let's see if Instant Gaming have it. Let me keep trolling the internet. And okay, so we go to Xbox. Let's go to search and type in undisputed. Ooh, they only have it for PC, and it's also 4028. They don't have it for the Xbox version. Only for Steam. And they don't raise the price of Steam.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the game's about to come out, so they're not trying to lose any money right now. They want as much as they can get.
Well, of course. I mean, that's one thing about game release. For people that buy the game day one, they want to see how much revenue they're gonna get on day one. So of course they're gonna put it at the highest price they can market the game as. Um, I don't know, man. What key updates are you expecting to see, or features are you expecting to see on game release when the game full version comes out?
Um, well, hopefully the punches are done correctly. Like I'm really interested in seeing the full launch, how the game actually looks. If the fighters are looking more fluid, I guess the word would be. Uh that's like my main concern. And actually the main concern for me is the online portion.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing. One of the biggest things, actually, the online play of Undisputed. So it's you jump right into the hot seat, and I like it. So ironically, I played a few online games just I think yesterday and the day before, just to see where I was, and I was playing against this guy. He has superpowers, man. It was crazy. I was spanking him the whole fight. We went the full 12 rounds. I was in heavyweight. I had Joe Lewis and he had Rocky Marciano. I was tearing him apart. And 12th round came, and all of a sudden he just had super strength. He hit me with a couple hooks and I could not get back up, bro. It was
That's well, I mean the cheaters are still there, that's for sure. So that now that you said that, I hope they have some anti cheats going on too, because that the online right now is running rampant with cheaters, rampant.
Oh, it's a zoo. It's a circus. Even I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they can. I don't know. I don't see what they get out of using a cheat. I could see like back in the day if we were playing some type of adventure game, you have mods or people play Grand Theft Auto, they use mods, but this is a type of game slash sport where you want to bring your A game, you want to compete, you want to see if you belong with the best of the best. That's what it's all about, not to cheat and have superpowers or whatever they do. I guess they also they can
Well,
drain your stamina. I heard or something like that.
unfortunately, in like in every platform, every game, every scenario, there's always trolls, and those guys they get a rise out of just making your experience just terrible. So that's really what it is. Like I've literally seen a guy, I forgot his name, man. Guy who used to stream all the time. He would all he would only use he only fight at middleweight using Sergio Martinez doing the body uppercut the whole time. He's literally streaming this with a bunch of guys watching him. All he did was the body uppercut, body uppercut, body uppercut. Make sure he was far enough and do that over and over and over and the his followers that were watching the stream were just eating it up. Like, oh, you're the best, you're the best. And I was just shocked. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't. I rather get our viewers organically, and they like our content. That's the reason why they're here watching. I don't believe in reaching down in the trick bag just to get a bunch of people to watch. That's crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, how long can you keep that up? What if they do have a anti cheat, right? So for all those that's cheating now, when game release come, if they do have a anti cheat, what they're gonna do then? I mean, what they're gonna tell their audience when some of those streamers start to get beat by real competition?
I don't know, but I hope I'm there to see it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Cause it'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting. But I agree with you about the punches. The trailers, some of the trailers and game footage I have seen, um, it's a double edged sword. It's a little wonky. I still don't have belief in the punches just yet, but I hope they get it right. For me, it seemed like the punches still don't have no snap to them, no pop. Um, Especially when that jab. I mean, sometimes I don't want to hear a thump. That jab should be like pop pop. It should be a snap to the jab. So I would like to more animation, some more sound effects or pop to that jab.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like um they really missed out on like some simple stuff, like simple stuff. I mean, I don't know if the game hasn't launched yet, so I'm still hoping that there's still a chance like some of these things can make it in the game. But like for example, if you have a fighter red corner, fighter in blue corner, all both fighters make the same sound when they punch, and like in reality, like all boxers make different sounds. Like something simple as like tss, 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 or going ha ha, like throwing like you actually there should be things that simple to differentiate fighters when they throw punches, because they all make different noises when they throw punches, and that's a simple sound effect. And I hadn't even seen one attempt of implementing that. But then there's like this new game coming out. Like I'm sure you've seen it, like this trailer of like these kickboxing and I forgot the name of the studio, but like the punches are fluid, the combinations fluid, and all, and the fighters make different types of noises when they punch. I mean that's something that simple that they never even put in the game yet.
It definitely would get you more into the game, and it would make you definitely feel like you're inside the ring. You and then you'll be able to tell if your fighter is sitting down on their punches or not between the different sound variations of the sound effects. I agree, man, that they missed out on that during beta and early access. So I hope it be there in the final release, which is big to to have your audience and really engaged into your product. Let's see.
Agree.
So, far as the exploits, the body uppercut and some of the directional hooks and some will say the step back straight. Uh, you think that full release, those exploits are going to be taken care of, polished up, or you feel that we're still going to have to deal with some of the exploits that sits on the table?
Um, I think all the exploits that we're concerned about are gonna not be there, but I feel like there's gonna be some new exploits that they completely overlooked. Um, I don't think the body uppercut's gonna be a problem. I don't think the step back straight's gonna be a problem. But trolls, spammers, cheesers, exploiters. I give them about 2, 3 weeks. They'll find some new ones. It's just like it is what it is. Like that's just how games like this work. The same guys that want to win so bad without really showing any skill, they're gonna find they're gonna find a chink in the game and exploit it.
Well, yeah, I agree, and and I'm gonna tell you how they're gonna do it. You're gonna have people that come from Fight Night, and first of all, I'm not shitting on anyone from the Fight Night community who plays the Fight Night game, but my opinion, Fight Night is a very arcade style game. So they're gonna try to come to play Undisputed the way they play Fight Night, and it's not gonna work. But what it is gonna allow them to find exactly what you just said, Vlad, the little cheesy little moves, the little, step back straights, if you will, or the body uppercuts. They're gonna find some other punch to do, and it's gonna be spam. Just because that style of fighting is gonna transition over from that arcade 19, what it was, 2000, when the Fight Night Champion come out, 2010,
I want to say 2011.
2011. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the technology has certainly progressed since then, and I mean, those people are not going to be able to adapt right away. So they're gonna that's you're gonna see a lot of that, a lot of double punching, a lot of double hooking.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure, those guys are gonna take a while. I'm talking about the current guys that are early access that look to exploit. They're gonna find a way within the 2 weeks. The new guys that are getting their hands in the game, oh man, they're gonna have a learning curve for sure because they only know Fight Night, so they're gonna take a lot of beatings in the beginning.
yeah, that learning curve, yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment. Um, is it a big adjustment, small adjustment? Who knows? I guess it depends on the individual and their fighting style, but you do have some good tough competition that's going to transition down from the PC. I know uh, us two are looking to get it on console. I can only imagine how many other PC gamers are also going to look at to get it on their console as well. Now, I know I want to play it on my 75-inch high, 4K TV. So um, that's what I'm looking forward to, honestly. But yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting and interesting. It's definitely intriguing, far as what to expect. Game release. Speaking of all of this career mode. Right now, career mode is like a everlasting battery, right? It just keeps going and going. Your boxer don't get tired. There's no retirement. There's no ending to it. You get all the accolades, which is great. You got to grind for it, which I think is great. Um, but uh, it's just not set up. The hierarchy is not set up appropriately for the actual career mode, in my opinion.
And it's crazy to me because like they're not really giving you much information. They come out with these trailers and they telling you this and that, but like it's all stuff that you've already experienced. Especially when he mentioned the career mode, I was surprised like they haven't made any real significant change. Or I mean, maybe they're just not telling you because everybody says that the trailers are more um they're more like towards the console gamers that haven't even seen this game yet, but they haven't really said anything new about the career mode. It look, I mean, I hope it's not what we got in early access. I hope they, did some things, change up some things, especially with the creative fighter. It's lacking a couple, you know, even like trunks. I felt like the trunks were very blah. Like I think you had like three options,
Yeah, they were limited
and
for sure.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping there's like a lot of revamping to do that they haven't put out yet.
yeah, and I hope that they put a cap where we don't have to put a cap where people, speaking you mentioned the creative fighter, where people can't, build gorillas or, the bionic man within the game. I hope that they have a natural limit far as height and reach and weight, etc. I don't want to go. I understand that we do have very fairly large people in the world. Some people. What's the tallest person in the world? I can't remember, but I know.
Oh yeah, but that tall person. See, I mean, I don't see that doesn't even bother me, right? Like if you do a creative fighter, let's say for example, you do a creative fighter, league, or I mean, I looked at the screenshot they had when they showed the online portion, like when you actually go to pick online. I saw ranked, I saw like exhibition, and I think that's it. So ranked, you're gonna have to use like the real fighters that have a game. I was hoping they had like a online world championship like Fight Night did, where you can only use created fighters, and you're like limited to a certain number on the fighter. But regarding like what you were saying about the height, let's say an easy way to fix that would be, you know, there's the average height. Let's say there's welterweight, at 5'9", 5'10", 147-pounder. Once you start hiking up the height and arm reach, you have to sacrifice speed or power. Something to balance it that way. Um,
And I
I
feel
I
like it should force you to move up a weight division too.
well, I mean, because if what's fun, what does Fundora fight at? 160?
I believe so.
Sebastian
Yeah.
Fundora or 154? I think
One
that's
for no, it's
154.
154. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, let's say you want to build his build, but you got your build built like a Terrence Crawford, right? Once you start going up in height and length like that, you should be forced to sacrifice power and speed. There's no way he can be as fast or hit as hard as the character that you made that's like Crawford. I feel like that's a good way to balance it because now you really gotta consider the guy you're building. You build a Fedora height guy, but if the guy's good, the guy you're fighting is really good with the build he has, he can time you and get inside and hit you with a harder shot. Like you have to think about those builds, and I feel like that's the best way they can even that out.
Yeah, I mean that's facts, and that's just solid logistics that you're kicking. Um, well said. I mean, hopefully they'll do it that way. But how many Sebastian Fundoras we got in the sport of boxing? I mean, we do got some tall fighters. Tyson Fury is another fairly
Not a lot, but exploiters will be exploiters. So once that's probably the first build they're gonna go after, and then they realize like, oh damn, well, I'm not as fast as the other guy I was fighting the other day. Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like that's how you stop them, from taking advantage of a system.
And he'll be
Yeah,
facing.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You are absolutely right. But we'll see what's to come. I
I mean,
know.
do I have faith on undisputed on the undisputed death team even considering something like that? No, not really. But that's why I fight in leagues. You go to a league and you make these suggestions, and they might, they see that and be like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. You make a 6'3" fighter at welterweight. Well, you can't have your powers capped at this, and your speed is capped at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the undisputed team can't figure it out, you know that you hope the leagues that come out do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a lot of good leagues out there, including ours. I'm quite sure that people are gonna have good policies and guidelines set for for stuff like that. I just wish, as far as to create a fighter, that they take that proportion away from us. I know each each individual league operates the way they operate, but at the end of the day, I just feel like if you're gonna put out a boxing game and try to get it to closest to the sport of boxing as you possibly can, I think it should be some more realistic height and reach factors in the play, especially between weight classes. It should be a minimum and a maximum on how far you can go.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. That's the way it should always be. And then you build your fighter how you want your fighter to fight, and the length, but you'll have to understand that there's sacrifices you're gonna have to make for your build, even the playing field.
Yeah, yeah. Which is going to be very very interesting. Very interesting. But let's see. AI. We haven't talked about the AI yet. So far as the AI, you know, a lot of people say that the AI don't give them a good competitive fight when playing. Um, and I agree. Even when you put it on the difficulty on undisputed, it seems like it's not. It doesn't compare to playing with another human being. How do you feel about that?
Um, I agree 100%. The AI to me is too easy. They said that they have been they said they have been working on it, and that I saw a video not too long ago that basically they were saying that we're gonna be surprised how much better they got the AI to be, but you know how it is with them. So I'm not 100% sure until I see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I just hope that you know with all this AI integration, it'd be nice if the AI can adjust to your fighting style and make you adapt and adjust throughout the fight. That way, you could be a rounded fighter. A lot of AI have patterns in games. Once you figure out that pattern of the AI, it doesn't sharpen the pencil anymore. It's just like, going through the
Well,
same maze over and over again to get to cheat
no,
code.
100%. Like even um like the most of the fighters kind of fight the same. The fast fighters kind of have the same combination, up down, back straight. Even the even the AI cheeses sometimes is pretty funny that they'll throw a jab uppercut from distance. I'm like, damn, like they have that wired into the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So season 3 for the Undisputed Boxing League is round the corner. I know things are gonna start to roll out, and we're gonna start advertising the stuff real soon. Um, What's up, man? What's going down with you in season three, man? Right now, you're sitting as the pound for pound champion. You know, who you after, or are you just gonna stay in the shadows and keep doing what you're doing? I mean, what's the game plan for Vlad J in season three?
Honestly, probably just lay low and see what good fighters are coming up in the rankings, and take on new challenges. You know, I definitely like sitting back and watching the scene and see who's the toughest guy coming out of the league at the moment, and then try to get fights with those guys. Um, yeah, that's really it. I just like watching. Like, look, for example, look how much better MCV has gotten, and I'm like shocked. And I was blown away when he was able to beat Lee. Like that that tells you MCV went from the guy with the worst record in the league to being he's a headliner every time he fights now. Anybody he fights, top tier, he's a legit threat. It's see that's the kind of stuff I like.
Yeah, I agree with you. MCV have collected some major accolades, and his fight style adjusted tremendously. To say, you can't take him lightly. I know at one point a time people did, and now, like you said, he is a natural born threat, and him and a lot of other guys have also made the transition to be a threat within the league. It's going to be very intriguing, if the online play is legit and we can get a substantial product, um, where everyone's skill set is going to end up landing in season three as we go, through the season. It's going to be interesting, Vlad.
If online play is legit, you don't have to go through a third party system to get a decent connection, no parsec, no Steam remote. Oh, it's gonna change everything. It's gonna be a very, very, very competitive league. No excuses. Everybody fights everybody. It's the connection's so bad right now. Like, you legit have an excuse not to fight somebody that's overseas or even on the other side of the U.S. because the connection's that bad. But if they fix it, wow, it's definitely gonna be good. Definitely gonna be different.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm tired of doing remote play and parsec. To be honest, I know at one point in time, Conan and I we had a great connection, and now, even that we was forced to go back to the lobby, it sucks, man. So I hope that with the generous donation, or with Saudi buying, you know partnering up, basically buying them out, really, in my opinion, um some of that money go to good youth. Maybe we have some dedicated servers, or something, where we can get our rock on, man, get our game on, with this undisputed.
It would be um shameful on their part if they didn't um make the online connection their number one priority, because the game was supposed to be called um ESBC. Was it?
ESBC Boxing Club.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. What did ESBC stand for? I'm going.
Esports Boxing Club.
Yeah, yeah, esports.
Yeah.
Esports. It's supposed to be, it's an esports title. So if your online connection is not good, um, like what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like this is supposed to be a competitive game against other people. Like most of the time, it was built. Their main their main focus was to build a boxing game that you can fight competitively against other players, not to mess around with this exhibition and this. I mean, career mode. If that's what they want to call it. Like this career mode. This is not what the game was really built on. So their priority should be servers, good connection, no what do you call it? Getting hit from across the screen
Ghost
or
punching.
ghost punching and fighters not seeing the same thing on their end that their opponent's seeing. That's
Oh,
craziness.
yeah, the desync is horrible. Yeah, the game has to flow in real time on both ends of the connection. When it's out of when the latency is that bad and it's out of sync like that, it, I don't know, man. It makes it not fun. At first we were unable to identify that. I know. What was it? It was right before the Eastern Assassin update. I want to say, because we were playing lobby, we were doing our thing, and not knowing that your opponent or you are experiencing tremendous lag, or the game is not, the timing of the game is not accurate as your opponent. Meanwhile, your opponent's having a good time kicking your tail. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I hope a lot of things get taken care of with this online play and the gameplay overall with Undisputed.
The I mean honestly the first time I actually started to figure out something was wrong was I would be fighting the one round and the next round the punches were sounding different. Like the punches would be breaking through the the guard all the time, even though my opponent will be blocking it. Same with me, he'll throw a punch, I'm blocking it, but it sounds like it's breaking through the guard. I'm like, what's going on, you know? And then I was fighting that, and I'm like, well, or both on chat. I'm like, is it the punches sounding like they're breaking guard through to you? He's like, no, I'm blocking them. And I'm like, but on my screen, they're breaking through your guard. So, well, what's going on? So that's when we decided to like record both of our matches, and then we're like, oh hell no, this is crazy.
Yeah,
We were seeing two different fights.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the only way you find out. People start recording their matches and like, yo, this is not happening for me as it's happening for you. But it exposed them, man. And let's face it, the console community, see, we are prepared to be lied to again. And if they lie to us this time, they lose a lot of money. I know that the PC community is going to be gone, vanished. But the console people, they're very eager to get their hands on this game. They've been seeing a lot of PC people stream it, so on and so forth. But I don't really think they know the full background of what beta and early access, what we all went through, of them empty promises, especially that anti cheat. That Wii mods took over. Let me tell you, just to get back on that. But it was a lot of empty promises that they couldn't deliver, and it let the community down.
Yeah, that with the patches that every time they drop the patch, it basically ruins something else. So they just, yeah, they've been messing, trying to fix things, but they end up messing something else up consistently over and over and over. And to be fair, like when the game initially launched, the connection was bad. Even though with the host switching, I mean that's why the punches were sounding different because the host would switch. But even with the host switching, most of the time you would see like what you see is what you would get. Then they put out another patch, and then that's when everybody started getting a lot of draws because whoever was the host this time had the advantage, and you know I would win a round, and no matter how good I was, if I was fighting a pretty decent guy, he would win the next round regardless because he had host and all his punches were landing and my punches weren't. And then by the time you get to the end of the 12th round, guess what? We both won six.
Yeah.
So they need to just. I always said they need to just start from the ground up because they messed something all the way up in the beginning when they made the game. If you the way they implemented the connection, they seemed like lost in the way to fix it. They kept putting out patches and it would just consistently get worse. So I mean, I'm hoping they use some of that money, hired a real group of guys that can figure out this online connection, whether they do it peer to peer or with a server. I just hope they figure it out because the soon as console players play online most of the time. Soon as console players figure out how bad the connection is, this game is done.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. They lose a lot of money. They won't be able to do the seasonal plans that they plan to do. You know, bringing on the high marquee fighters, um, DLC, different trunks, gloves, shoes. You know, maybe arenas. They talked about. Excuse me. Some of the arenas we're gonna have to purchase. Um,
And the saddest part of this whole thing, if we're being honest, when a game launches, like especially if it's a game like one person versus another, it's not like a you know battlefield where you got like 32 and 32 or 64 and 64 or even Call of Duty 8 on 8. This is one versus one. So it's really shameful that their biggest hurdle is the online connection. That's typically never an issue with games. Like an online connection like this bad, I've honestly never seen that.
well, not to shit on them. I think the original group, what it was a team of 6 or 5. They were a very small team, and their dream was great and big, but they didn't know how to implement it. They had no clue what they were doing, and I think that's the foundation that they tried to repair as things went on, and they just couldn't repair it. Now, as you touched about the financial part, and I spoke about it earlier, like you said, I hope some of that money go into good places. Um, back during the early access, they admitted that they didn't have enough finance for a cybersecurity team. So, with all that money that they're getting from Saudi, I hope that they are putting a good substantial amount of money in the right areas to bring this game to life.
50% of that money should go to the online infrastructure. Straight up.
Yeah,
All of it from the ground up should be all online connection. It's I don't know, that's probably the thing that upsets me the most. I'm like, you gotta get the connection right. Like, come on, man. Like there's so many early access games that have online with smaller teams than these guys. And you know, I mean I understand what you're saying with the beginning, how they started, but man, I I've never seen a online connection this bad
yeah,
in
same here.
any early access game I've played. And I started with PUBG, which was like a super early access game. And that wasn't an online connection. They had issues with other things, but online connections, we're talking about 100 players on a huge server, huge map. Online connection, the worst you deal with is maybe you'll get booted out of your game, but then you'll just log back on and it'll put you exactly where your character was at. But no, I've never seen like desync. Like the one is me versus another player. Like, come on, man. Like, how did you implement this system that is not that is this bad?
Yeah, yeah. They just, like I said, their dream was big and great. They just didn't know how to implement it the correct way. But as they started to get funding uh, from the boxing sanctions, right? Like the WBC, the IBF, they all, sponsored them as well. They spent a lot of that cash on fighters, getting fighters licensed. Uh, they, I don't know, man. It should have been a balance. Some of that money should have went in the right area during that time. They already announced that the game was going to be seasonal. Why not let it be? The original developer really wanted to walk down the hill, and a lot of his co-partners were like, forking him to, speed up. He admitted to the public that he felt, he told the public he felt like the game wasn't ready for early access or for the public to play with it at all. When they just gave us that little beta test, what they let us play for what, about 2 weeks, and then they turned it off.
That test, honestly, wasn't even that bad. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree, but the beta that we played wasn't what we got in early access.
no, it was revamped, but but supposedly from what I've heard, the beta that we played it on servers. So
Yeah,
from
I
what
heard
I've
that
been
too.
told,
Well, that's another thing. I don't know, man. I mean, the women fight better than the men. They have a better flow, in my opinion. And the men fighters is a little herky jerky, but that's all to the what we've been talking about. The game is I don't know. The state of the game is wonky, if that's a good word to choose for it. It has a lot of glitch play to it. Welcome to the party, Swifty. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I seen him join.
yeah, I mean, I see his name there, uh, but I don't know. Maybe he has it on mute. I'm not sure.
Uh,
And Mac has never come back, right?
no, he never came back. But
All right.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Speaking of Swifty, it's interesting that he just come here. We done talked about everything on the agenda tonight that we had lined up, except the Hellgate will be aired tomorrow for your pound for pound undisputed supremacy and his King of the Hill championship. Um, that will end season two. You have been the man to come see, Vlad. I mean, you after season one, you went I wouldn't say back and forth with Harvey, but you had your trial with Harvey. I think it was one other person. I want to say was it Baby Loke, or was it Guap that beat you? And you once you beat, haven't anyone touched you since. I mean, you have a tremendous record. You hold majority of the belts within the league. I mean, you have a lot of accolades, man. So what is this fight? I mean, you're seeking another belt. I know that probably don't mean too much to you, but you do have an opportunity at another championship. And what's gonna happen in Hell's Gate?
Um, my last loss on season one was to, I'm pretty sure it was to Harvey. Oh no, actually it wasn't. It was to Tyrone. It was after like a patch happened. So my last loss was Tyrone. And I mean, like I said before, every time we go back to that loss was the loss that really put a fire under me, because I remember I remember the commentating. I remember I was in that card, and I remember Dant was in that card, and we both took L's on that card. And I remember, I think Harvey was one of the commentators. I think Berger was another one,
I
and
think no. I
uh
think we had our own judge panel. because that was still in season one. So we
No,
had,
no, no, yeah. There
yeah,
was definitely. I think Stacy was there too.
yeah, Stacy. It was Stacy, Harvey, and Berger. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
And I just remember the commentating was that's when uh Tyrone recorded the fight, and I remember what. See, that's when I started to realize like something was up with the game too, because I remember watching Tyrone stream, and I'm like, man, I wasn't fighting like that on my screen. Like, what's going on here? But I mean, that's what I was like, man, this just, I guess it was just a bad day. It wasn't looking like me, and the commentators were like, oh man, this Vlad guy, he's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know what happened, and this and that, and I'm like, man, well, like when I watched that fight, I was just very it just motivated me to just get better, and that's what happened with in season one. That's what really pushed me to like figure out a little bit better in the game. Really use my boxing IQ to and implement it in the game. And as far as the upcoming fight, I don't really see it as just another title. I think it's um definitely a good title to chase. You have Ghetto IP. I think he has two belts also. So it makes, if I'm able to get another belt, it makes it even more um better of an accomplishment, to say I have, two belts also. Um and Swifty's not is no pushover. He's beaten Ghetto. He's beaten a lot of the top guys himself. So it should be a tough, interesting fight.
yeah. You know, me and Swifty is part of the same camp, and I do hope. Um, well, I shouldn't say I hope. But I plan on Swifty, bringing his A game the night of the fight. You are who you are, the man to come see, the man to come beat, right? Um, so can't take anything away from you. Your accolades speak for themselves. But this is kind of got like that Canelo and Belanga type feel to it, if you will. You know, you being Canelo and Swifty being Belanga. You the veteran and he's that young up and coming fighter that wants it all. Um, and he have deserved this moment. He have deserved his shot. I wish he was here with us right now. But I would say to the fans, you don't want to miss this fight tomorrow. It will be aired around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be a hot fight, and it's gonna be a stacked card. So you guys don't want to miss out on it. That's all I can say. It's gonna be fire. So before we close the show, Vlad, season three, new uh, fighters coming to the league. Console is going to be here. We're going to have people from PlayStation, Xbox, and of course, PC people are going to be here as well. Um, if you had to say to anything to anyone that had any interest on joining the league and why they should join the league, what would you say to them?
I'd say if you want a real sim experience where you actually, fight the play the game the way the game's supposed to be played. Um, it's a real if you come to this league, you're gonna that's the only way I can see that you'd experience that. If you fight online, you'll learn right away that these guys are not trying to box you. They're not trying to fight you. They're not trying to fight you the way that you're supposed to fight. They're just trying to win by any means necessary, and they'll find define a glitch, define an exploit, define a spammy move to make sure they get their win. But if you want, you know, the sim experience, you actually get to participate in live events. Um, there's interviews, there's title shots, there's all types of belts, and the skill level is from top to bottom. You're gonna have guys that you're gonna feel like, man, it's a real accomplishment. If I can get past this person, and then there's guys that are, entry level fighters also. So, but it's all sim. So if that's what you want, this is where to be.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Yeah. So be on the lookout for the recruitment flyer. It will be going out real soon. Just to let people know that we're still here, and we plan on to make it bigger and better and better. Season 3 is here. October is around the corner. I know I am a big horror fan, so the month of the dead is my month. We're gonna do I'm just gonna leak this early. It will be a Halloween tournament. I'm not gonna put any details on it, but this tournament is gonna be one of the hottest tournaments we ever had. Um, so you don't want to miss out on Halloween. It's gonna it's gonna blow. It's gonna be big. Halloween is gonna be spectacular. But other than that, Vlad, it's been a pleasure as always. I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight, watching the podcast show. Uh, Undisputed final release October 8th. Get you some of that. Will the things that we talked about tonight on our podcast show will be addressed, or will the game be a flop? Time will tell. It's right around the corner. Anything you would like to say to the fans before we leave, Vlad?
I hope it definitely doesn't flop because this is something I've been waiting for probably 13 years now. I hope they figure it out. Um, Supposedly, once the game launches, they're gonna be 100% on top of everything, putting out updates on a weekly basis if they have to, according to them. So hopefully they stick to their word. I have a feeling they will because there's too much. They got too many investors. So to let it just flop and lose out on all that money, wouldn't be in their best interest. They want this game to go for a long time, dropping more fighters, creating more tournaments, and giving more updates. So hopefully, they give it the backing that they say they will.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. They wanted to have that Fight Night champion feel. Fight Night came out in 2011, and people still are playing it to this day, and that's how they want Undisputed to be. They want that Undisputed to have that shelf life, and I hope it does. I agree with you.
A- Actually, Dan might jump on if you still want to continue your podcast a little longer. Maybe you have some questions there.
Oh, I mean, if you have some questions you want to ask, yeah, tell them more than welcome. Swift just sent me a message. He said the little baby has COVID, and he said he apologized. The reason why he didn't respond, the little man is a little cranky. It's all good, Swift.
Yeah, it's all good. Dan said 3 minutes. I don't know if you want to hold out for 3 more minutes.
Yeah, we can hold out for 3 more minutes. I got a little water left. I may uh run and get me a refill, but I yeah, we got a little time. Not a problem.
Yeah, let me do the same thing. That we can actually talk about We can jump back on, and start talking about the Canelo fight. What you thought, or what I thought, or how you think you should have went. Let me grab a drink. Though, hold on.
All right. I mean, that fight was, whew, that fight was, that fight was spectacular right there. That Canelo fight. What can I say about that? Very intriguing. Very. I knew Canelo was gonna win. Um, Belanga got a chin on him. Let me say that. Oh my God. Belanga. uh, and he wasn't hurt in the Canelo fight neither. But I'll wait till Vlad come back. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Ew. Okay, so
What's up, Tantalus?
hey
How you
Dan,
doing?
how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Just got back from date night.
Oh, okay, all right. You had flowers and the chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I just it was a run-of-the-mill date night. Dinner and a movie.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Nothing wrong with that. My wife and I do that. Uh, Sitting out on the patio watching a projector screen in front of the fire seems to have been our thing the last 2 weekends. But yeah, man, that quality time is precious, man. You got to get it in. So Vlad stepped away for a quick second to go get a drink. He said he'll be
I
right
know.
back. But he said that you have some questions, I guess, pertaining to Undisputed or season 3.
All right, I'm back.
There he is.
There it is. I mean, it's all about the online, right? How that's going to operate. I mean, I think the game lives and dies by online.
Yeah.
And how that connection is going to go, and the ease in which to connect to your friends. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm assuming we're going to be able to download Creative Boxers, but then if we're able to connect the friends, then we should be able to.
Actually, we didn't touch on the creative boxer topic, did we?
Yeah, we
Oh,
talked about it.
very little. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that back up. So Dan, I know that when we first started playing Creative Boxers, you had a very good insight on the traits, the height, the reach, and etc. on the Creative Boxers, and I was telling Vlad that it'd be nice if they had a minimum and maximum of height and reach and weight, within that weight class on the game, so it won't be like a real exploit that someone can overbuild their fighter on the creative fighter. What?
Yeah, I mean, I want to I would like for diversity, right? Like, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't mind going against a guy who's taller than me, but I don't. The problem is everybody, goes super tall and then they got super fast and they're super, like it's all maxed out traits, right? And they're maxed out attributes and everything. And it's like, if you get one person who does that, then everybody's going to do that just to compete. So, but you want to see different types of boxers, though. And so,
But
like,
when he brought that up, I suggested, because I have a feeling Undisputed, even if they create a OWC system, like,
yeah,
Fight Night, they're not going to like, really monitor and make sure everything's, more even. Because I agree with you. I would love to fight a guy that's, super tall and super lanky and super long. But what I suggested is, once you start, like, for example, if we're at welterweight and you got a guy that's like 5'9", you're an average height guy, a 5'9" guy, good speed, good power. Once you start going, past that height, like now you're in the 6 feet, 6'2", 6'1" with a long reach. The game should force them to sacrifice some speed and some power. Yeah, you can be long, and you can have a longer reach, but you know you gotta give up a little something. You can't be Terrence Crawford, but you're 6'4" with 78-inch reach, and you're fighting at welterweight. That's not gonna be that's not gonna be really even. If I'm fighting basically the same skill, a guy the same skill as me, but I have a 5'8" guy with 72-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
me fighting myself with a longer fighter. No, the guy with a longer fighter with the same stats is gonna always win.
yeah. Did you tell him about the grid? I don't know if you mentioned the grid.
Oh, I've mentioned that before, but for sure, leagues will definitely implement something like that. That's without a doubt. I'm 100% sure a league would do that. But I'm saying if Undisputed does a like online world championship,
Everybody's
like
gonna be big, and
yeah,
there's no
yeah,
way,
yeah.
you know.
But I was just suggesting like this. That would be a way to negate it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any way to. I don't know, because trolls are gonna be trolls, right? When you get online,
No,
you
yeah,
have
for sure,
people
for sure.
just doing it. I mean, that's the benefit of a league is you get people who are like-minded who want a good fight, and don't want to max everything out and be just trolly.
Yeah, and leagues have rules,
Yeah,
and that's the best part.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be nice that if they do have a system already implemented where the leagues don't have to create the rule. That's all I'm saying. But if we have to do it, we have to do it when we have to do it. But I just, it sucks that people find ways to cheese and they think it's fun, and it's not fun to the real sim competitive player. You know.
yeah. I mean, like I wish that we would have got our hands on this build like at least a couple months before, because it might be interesting. Like the when this game comes out, it might be good for about a couple weeks because people won't know the new cheese yet or the new meta. And then it's going to start going, okay, everybody's doing this move. Okay, everybody's doing this move. I mean, there's just so many. There's so many things that need to be tested on this game, and I don't know if it was properly tested. I mean, there's that one thing that I remember, Vlad, me and you were sparring, and I hit you with that combination that the first punch that I threw, it would automatically move your block to like the right side of your face or something, allowing me to land the second punch, right?
I
And like,
experienced that.
and it's like that's an exploit, and it's not, he's not doing anything wrong. I'm technically not doing anything wrong, except it's this combination that now opens up the block to allow you to get hit. And then I mean, there's tons of things that we're gonna find once this game comes out, and then it's gonna be like, oh well, now it's a finished game. And I kind of think it was a little shady by them not allowing us. We're early access. We're supposed to be testing these things, and you're
Yep.
hiding it from us.
Which is exactly what I've been complaining for the longest. I'm like, how do you come out with a build that you're letting certain group of guys play, but we're not even, you know how bad your servers are, and we're not even able to stress the server or your peer-to-peer connection, see if you even update that's what there's like a layer of shadiness about this, and it's like
Yeah,
it's to me it's a little obvious they're trying to pander to the console guys because they don't know shit, and they want, they're gift wrapping this so so they can make their sales, and then I guess maybe try to fix it later when everybody's caught on. I hope I'm 100% wrong, and I'm
yeah. I
just
hope they
giving
just
them
don't
shit.
abandon it after they, just kind of like, all right, we're done, moving on to the next or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
they
Patches and stuff for a
they
good couple
they
years.
they, they got to hit a home run, because if you look at the marketing of it all, they're coming out in Halloween just in time, a little, in time enough for Black Friday, Christmas, and the New Year, when people have the most money in their pocket in the whole entire year.
And they're also making sure no huge triple A titles coming out around that time too. That's why they picked that date too.
Excellent marketing by on their behalf. But if the game is not right, if it's not legit, online play, creative player, etc., we walk away. The whole community. That's gonna be bad, man. Because we've been lied to multiple times already, the PC people. So now the console people, how long the console people will stay on if the game is not substantial the way that the community would like it to be.
Unfortunately, there are some diehard boxing guys that are also gamers, so they'll probably stick to it for a while. Um, like for example, look how many people still play Fight Night Champion. That game to me is so bad. I thought it was so good when it came out too,
Yeah.
and But that game was such a cheese fest for the longest, and the the developers would not put out a patch forever for the most obvious exploits. I remember I remember when the game came out for the first year, you can get a guy in the corner and just jab straight to the body, and the guy can literally not get out of that corner. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything about it. They started putting out tuner sets, which didn't do anything. And the biggest one they dropped was one that just sapped your stamina if you moved around too much, which now you really couldn't get away from the guys who spam to the body. You know, it was
And
they're
then the thing
just
is, like a jab was counting like the same amount as a hook. So someone would just jab, 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 and it's like they're just building up points, and they'd win the round. And it's like, fuck,
that and it would the jab when it landed to your body would do this animation that will make you like wobble, so you couldn't even block when you wanted to block the next jab. So it was just it was a mess.
No, I think the power straight is the most powerful punch on that game right now.
Oh, champion,
Yeah,
Fight Night Champion.
yeah, Fight Night Champion.
Oh, bro, I haven't touched that game honestly since the beta for this game came out. I deleted it because I didn't want to get confused with the controls.
I aired a few fights of it. I did when I did the Back to the Future episodes, um, leading up to the road to undisputed. I showed a few fights how the league used to get down back in the day, and looking at those fights and comparing it to undisputed. Um, I just think I thank Steel River City for at least giving it a shot because we have been dormant for so long without a good boxing game. Uh, Fight Night is very arcadish. You can do a lot of cheesy stuff on it, and comparing it, the two together, of course, it was night and day. But Undisputed is more realistic to the sport. I mean, you can actually sidestep over. You can actually sidestep back. I mean, you can see the difference. Your lateral movement, the detail of Undisputed is there. It's just they have to make the game flow. It's kind of herky jerky, right? If you will.
Yeah, I think we'll even put up with the herky jerky as long as we can get good online play. Like, I mean, that's really where it's at.
Number one for me is definitely fixed online. Like that's their Achilles heel, literally.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say this though. There is one game that can potentially just upset everything if the right group of guys pick it up. That game from Overhand Interactive. I don't know if you guys ever seen the gameplay. It's
done by two guys, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and it's the combinations, the sparring I've seen in the videos. I'm blown away, and I'm shocked. Like these companies have all this money and they couldn't find these two guys that figured this out.
Usually it's a passion project, or like you know what I mean. You got two guys that are doing it, and they put a lot of work in that. And
I don't know. They say the talent is not as good as the talent over in the U.S. versus U.K. I mean, the team did come is based out of UK. Not to say that they don't know what they're doing over there.
Wait, Overhand Interactive, or are you talking about Undisputed?
Yeah, Undisputed.
Oh, okay. No, these guys from Overhand Interactive, like
no, when I watch, where they're based out of it though? Are they here in the?
I think they're no, I think they're in the U.S.
Okay,
but their gameplay videos, I'm blown away. They're just using random characters that they made up, but I'm just blown away how they put the combinations together, how they how one fighter can time the other one, and you can see the punch, like what's the word that they use, like where the punch is coming from, depending on the angle where the guy's glove is, it really is like the system they got in the game is really working, and if just two guys can come up with that, like what's going on? Like, where where's Undisputed's missteps? Like, how did they not figure this out with such
Yeah,
a
but I mean,
bigger group of guys?
you can't really trust what you see, right? Like, I mean, you might be seeing some gameplay, but I'm
But
telling
wait,
you,
have you seen this though at all?
I think I glanced at it, but I don't really trust trailers or anything like that.
It's not. No, it's not a trailer. It's just two guys with two controllers playing it.
Nah, that's
Wow.
those trailers is like Bernie Moreno. They're a lot of overtime where you don't get paid. Just they're overrated.
But okay, for example, let me give you an example right here. Like, I've seen the same thing from Undisputed, and playing the game is you don't realize you don't realize any issues until you actually play the actual game. But I'm just saying about the way the punches flow in this trailer or in this demo. Like, not much can change. You can tell it's built into the what do you call it, the game engine. Like, you can tell that this is already built in the game engine. There's like you can't really change that.
That's true. That's facts. So
Have you guys seen any of these? Any of these?
yeah,
No.
I'm
I watched a few trailers.
I'm watching Overhead Interactive. I mean, it looks like a virtual boxers type of thing with a little bit of graphics. The way he's ducking and dodging.
I still don't think the punches are ready yet. Vlad and I were talking about that earlier, Dan. Especially the jab. The jab don't have a good snap or pop to it. They
What in
missing.
You
Undisputed?
no, he's
Or
talking about Undisputed though. He's talking about Undisputed.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's talking about this. Yeah, yeah. See, it goes back to like I'm disappointed we aren't able to see this, man. I'm going off these trailers, Undisputed, and I can't trust. I'm like whatever, dude. You can talk about it, but I need to play it. And I think I this is the first early access game that I've ever experienced the developers not holding back on what they release to do a full release. Because I've done a lot of early access games, and there's always one of that Scum, like they release patches like on a monthly basis. They communicate what they're changing. Uh, this one they just went dark, and then they're just gonna do a full release with all these updates, and it's like, wow. I mean, okay,
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's like it screams shadiness to me.
it does. Yeah, it screams shadiness. Like, what are you hiding?
I mean, well, I think Saudi told them to put a lid on it until they got their shit together. I mean, because let's face it, they was doing that in the beginning. They'd had a roadmap out there for us and everything, and then once Saudi stepped in as a partner, that's when shit went dark.
No, I'd have to probably agree with that. Like, as soon as they got a whole bunch of money, they kind of, I feel like they lost their not lost their way, but they lost their rights. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, that's why I said earlier. In my opinion, I think Saudi bought them out, even though that they're introducing them as a partner. I think they just did that as a marketing thing, and to feel like, to give the audience a feel that still River City is still the front leader of the game. But I don't think they are anymore.
No, yeah, you think they bought him out but kept him on to like actually just run it?
Yeah,
Well, the game still had to be finished, so they weren't just gonna like
Yeah.
send them away. I mean, I think uh, maybe they gave away 49%, but when you give away 49% and those guys sponsored 98% of the money, you kind of have to listen to them anyway. You know what I mean?
what they give them 20 million?
Yeah, like they basically funded the whole project.
Man, they basically said you are my EI right now. Here's 20 million. You're gonna do what I say. You're gonna tap when I say tap, and that's that. put some
But I'm
duct
like,
tape
what,
over your mouth and shut the hell up.
but like, why? Like, I guess I wonder what's the why would they want to shut them down or not shut them down? But like, I guess I don't see the incentive. I don't even know what they would have to add, like that Riyadh money. I'm like, what do you other than money and maybe put your name? Like, what kind of opinion can you have on a video game, or like how it's run or anything?
I mean,
I don't
well,
know.
if you look at the competitor, which is EA don't really rock that way. EA will they'll put out an announcement saying that they got this or something, happening, but you don't start seeing trailers or anything substantial about the game until they complete the game and they done put it through the sandbox and tested it. When we get the game, it's we don't really get a EA early access or beta. We get the
Yeah,
full fledged game.
Yeah, and that's honestly the issue. Like, we signed up for early access. We should be part of the whole shebang. Whatever they're doing, we should be part of it. We should have been testing everything, giving them feedback, but they turned away ever since they got that big check.
yeah.
Well,
And I
they
mean, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be good, but I feel like they're giving up a valuable resource because people who play this game right now in early access, people who are still asking for these stuff, is because we love the game or we love boxing and everything. So we are going to give you good opinions or good feedback. You don't want to lose that resource, or wouldn't you want to utilize it?
you would think, you definitely would think.
I think they got butthurt a little bit because I think they got a lot of complaints, and I think they got a little sensitive about it.
I mean, they did let the community down, especially when that Eastern Assassin update hit. That's the one that was
And
supposed to have the anti cheat to it.
they've been blocking a lot of guys who would like oppose them on the Discord. The every other day, some guys like, oh man, they blocked me. I'm like, why? Oh, because I said, this game needs this, this, and this, and they're not trying to hear it. I see that all the time. They're always blocking guys that go against them, which I find weird. But I'll go back and look what the guy actually wrote, and it was nothing. They were just criticizing like the connection, or why haven't you guys done anything about the body uppercuts yet? Like, and they'll be
That
like,
I can't.
huh?
The body uppercuts, man. I can't believe it's gone this long, like without them fixing that. Like that blows me.
Well,
That's been a day one thing.
that could have been a one-off patch, right? Like, okay, make the uppercut shorter. Okay, boom, that's it. But they let that go. When did the game go into early access? Like January of 2023.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it's gone. It's almost gonna go into yeah. It went all the way to almost 2 years, and they let it. That's yeah. I mean, now that you say that, I'm a little blown away by it. Now that you say that, like that's the
Because
biggest exploit in the game.
yeah, and I mean they barely referenced it. I mean they barely referenced it. I think for the first time in this demo or in this what they're coming out in the full release saying, oh, and yeah, we fixed the uppercuts, making it shorter, and it's like it's been 2 years. That's been one of the biggest exploits. I mean, there's just so much things they could have done. They could have taken the amount of weight behind it. Like, okay, it lands, but now it lands like a jab, so it doesn't really count that much. It did
Bro, I said that
feel
from the
like
beginning, and I'm
yeah.
like,
There's
okay,
so
just
many
make the
things that
body
could
uppercut
be
not
tweaked.
do any real damage, and if
Yeah,
it's unless you're super close, up close. Nope. Then
Excuse me.
there's so many ways they could have fixed this.
Yeah, they could have turned it down. They was adjusting some of the legendary fighters' punches. They could have turned that uppercut down for sure, but they didn't. I mean, I seen a guy throw a three-piece uppercut to the body and end his opponent, you know, and he just kept repeatedly doing it. He knocked his opponent down each time he did it. But they also, for the cheaters, they're adding Wheaties or giving themselves superpowers as well, and cheating people out of a straight up fight.
You know what I just thought of too? I wonder if they're gonna implement, like, let's say, I create a lobby, right? If I could implement like my own personal like rules in the
yeah, they
sense
did
of
that now,
like,
right?
say it again.
Well, they do that. What do you mean rules?
Well, not rules, but like basically custom sliders. Like, okay, uh, let's say the game launches and we realize like, okay, the jab has way too much power. It's almost like a right hand. Can I create a lobby where I can just the jab only be effective up to 75% of its normal weight right now? You know what I mean? Like, or
That's pie in the sky stuff, man. Yeah,
yeah,
I hear
yeah,
you.
but remember there was times you can play. I'm pretty sure there was sliders in Fight Night Champion. No, there was. I remember messing with them when I was playing offline. Basically, I guess I'm asking is like, are we gonna have custom sliders?
I don't know. I don't know if I would really want that though.
That sounds a little complicated, but
What do you mean? That means you can implement your rule set in your league
no, I hear
right away, and you go into
like it. I don't know, like you. I'm thinking about like, what if it favors one fighter to use a straight and the other fighter doesn't use a straight, but because you use the slider, now all of a sudden by using the slider you're favoring the fighter who doesn't use it, or something along those lines. So you're thinking of it
no, I'm thinking
combating
more
an
of an
exploit.
exploit, right?
Yeah, you're thinking of
Like the
combating.
body uppercut is way too powerful and it's too long. So
Yeah.
if you have a slider for it and Ten has a custom picture of a slider that this is what needs to be in each fight, the body uppercut will be body uppercut slider will go down to 50% on every fight. That's a request by the league. So guess what? Now the body uppercut you can use it, but if you think you're gonna win a fight simply in a body uppercut, that's null and void now.
Yeah, because you should be able to, like in Fight Night Champion, to once all the cheaters was there, we used to dial down the overall. Like I had a 78 overall league at one point in time. So if a person did a particular exploit, it wasn't effective. You know what I'm saying? It made the fight more even and realistic.
I mean, I'm just trying to remember like what we had access to in Fight Night Champion. Um,
It was
I
always
know some
82,
sliders and
right?
stuff.
I think we did like an 82 and below.
We had 82, we had 84s. I think we on one point they went all the way up to 86.
Was it? I don't remember even 86. I know it was 84 and 82.
I
Pour me a drink, woman.
So,
you want
what
to
did you
discuss?
guys say to that watch party last Saturday between Canelo and Belenga?
That was pretty much. I was surprised it actually went that long. I really thought it was going to be over quick. Well, I thought it was going to be under 8, but yeah, I was kind of surprised.
I thought it was going to be under 6, but I was disappointed. I mean, to say the least.
It was still a good night of boxing. I thought
the
was
card was amazing. The card was amazing,
except for the whatchamacallit, Garcia fight. But
yeah.
Laura, yeah, Garcia gave up. He straight went into bitch mode.
That fight was just like, it really kind of, because it was such a good card and it was really, all these fights were amazing. Then you went right into that one. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, he wasn't even doing much. It was really weird. Like I think he realized
a paycheck.
I should have just retired. I should have took this layoff all the way to sunset.
Well, he been off for 2 years. He's been in real estate. He got a clothing company. I follow him on Instagram, and I had said to my wife a while ago. I said, Danny he has no intention to coming back to the sport of boxing, and if he does, it's because of a paycheck. So, and it looks like he was getting that paycheck off of Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked old. He looked way older than Lara. That's for sure.
Yeah, he did.
But back to the Berlanga fight, I would say that I honestly thought Berlanga would risk a little more. I thought he would fight. The I mean, I know it's Canelo, so there's going to be a lot of respect there, but I thought that he would eventually open up and, go for broke, try to make history. Because, that's why I thought he'd be knocked out. But it seemed like after he opened up early, I want to say early in the second or third, he looked like he was going to go after it, but then he got dropped, and then that's it. He went back to just he did a better version of Charlo did in surviving. He made himself look like, he wanted a little bit more than Charlo did instead of just running the whole fight. But I mean, that's all I can give him. He definitely tried to survive the 12 rounds.
There's a fight tomorrow, isn't there? Top rank.
It was on the night. Magia?
There was a fight tonight.
Yeah.
What?
There was a fight tonight. Top
Or was a
rank.
Monkey fight tonight?
Yep. Top rank.
Is it done?
Yeah, it was when we first started the podcast show. The main event was about to air.
Oh no, Anthony Joshua fights tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
that's actually a big fight.
Yeah.
Isn't it early though?
Say what?
Wouldn't that fight be actually early?
Yeah, I think so. I think it happens like at 2 p.m. I have to check. But it looks like here I give y'all guys a sneak peek. But it looks like the Magia fight is happening right now. You see it? It's coming on right now.
Is it right now? Because yeah, I was like wondering.
The main event. Yeah, it's coming on right now. Looks like.
That's perfect timing.
Who was on the undercard? Anybody good?
I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at it.
So Mac never came back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
I don't know, but I was just head bobbing. I don't know why, but we had a good podcast show. I'm gonna say good night to the fans. Thank everyone for tuning in, and Dan, thanks for joining in, and Vlad, of course.
Yes, sir.
Do this one more time before October 8th, before the release, if you guys don't mind. Maybe talk about season 3 a little bit more and what to expect. I know MCV and we supposed to get together tomorrow and work on some graphics and some production. And then it's another interview tomorrow, and then we're gonna do the Hell's Gate event tomorrow too. So, if you guys available, tune in, join, or whatever, and it's gonna be a spectacular night.
Yes, sir. I'll definitely be there. I got to fight.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to the fans, and you know how Dat, once he gets his scotch, he becomes a different person. But yeah. I won't go into detail.
Yeah, he has his own personal fans that tune in to hear him out.
Yeah. Dat drinking scotch tonight? Oh, let me watch. Let's tune in. Oh boy. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be